It's recording. Say hello, Nellie. Say hello, Eppie. Now it's night time and I'm going to record a story. Ready? This is the story when Daddy broke his arm. Years ago, I used to live up in Granny's house. No, Granny's house.
Yeah.
And we used to live in the one room up beside Granny's. Eppie, shh. Go away the house. And
go away.
We didn't have a toilet, Nelly, right? So we
Eppie sees my sister playing with dolls, so just don't mind her.
okay.
Just, don't listen to her. Pull my hair. It's alright. I go home, right?
Little girl, pull your hair. It's all right till I go home. That's it. Good girl, Eppie. Listen, I was upstairs in Granny's house after having a poo-poo, right? And I had a big poo-poo in the potty. And I was coming down the stairs. And sure, didn't I slip on one of the steps? And didn't I go flying down the stairs face first?
Like a big aeroplane.
Yeah, like a big airplane. Yeah, a big airplane.
It's not funny.
And all the shit and piss went everywhere. I went up in the air and hit the ceiling and went down around the floor and landed. But I landed too, and I landed at the bottom of the stairs, and I heard a crack when I landed. And Nanny heard me bawling and roaring, and she came in, and here was me at the end of the stairs. My arm was all bent. And she goes, "Oh, Jesus Christ, Mick said..." Yeah, bent back down. I was kind of like all bent like that. And she goes, "He's after breaking his arm." And Granny came in as well, and Granny started giving about the piss and the shit on the floor. But then she saw me, and she said, "Oh no, poor old Mick's after breaking his arm. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?" So we didn't have a car, you see, and poor old Dickie was working with no bike. So they had to get me to the doctor quick to figure out how they were going to fix me, how to make me better. And I was crying and crying and crying. So normally Mammy couldn't leave Jenny and Anne on there, but she said, "Listen, I have to do something. I have to get Mick to the doctor quick." So we thought for a minute. We said, "Right, listen, the only thing we've got a donkey outside, Bobby. No, Bobby the donkey, Nelly." And Bobby the donkey was real good. So,
I got a donkey.
I know, he'd be nice, wouldn't he?
A baby donkey.
Oh, he'd be lovely, wouldn't he? So Bobby, anyway, we went outside.
I got an echo baby donkey.
Yeah, Bobby donkey. Yeah. So listen, so we went outside anyway, and we put a saddle on the donkey anyway, and we all tackled him up anyway. And Nanny got onto it, and then I got onto the front of it. She held on to me. We went off to Gorey, into Gorey, and the Gorey was about 11 miles into Gorey. All the way into Gorey, we got onto the Gorey into Dr. Doherty's place, and outside his place he had a railing. So we tied the donkey to the railing and I went inside, and the girl at reception said, "Oh God, he's bad, isn't he?" I said, "Yeah." So I went into the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh jeez, he's terrible bad." I said, "I can't fix that here." I said, "You'll have to go to Wexford Hospital." And I said, "How are we going to get down?" I said, "We'll call you an ambulance." And Nanny says, "But sure, I must bring the donkey with me." And he goes, "But sure, you can bring the donkey in the ambulance with you. It's big enough." So I said, "Fair enough." So within a few minutes we heard the ambulance arrived up, pulled outside the doctor's place, and they lifted me into the ambulance, and then the two ambulance drivers looked at the donkey, and Nanny goes, "Oh, the doctor said he can go in." So, right, so he says, so they put the little step down, and the donkey went onto it, and then he went in, and we strapped the donkey into the back of the ambulance. And I was beside him on the bed. The donkey was here, and Mammy was sitting beside me. And Nanny was saying, "You'll be alright, Mick, you'll be grand." So the old donkey didn't mind anyway. Yeah, it should be before we farted. But the donkey was grand. So it drove all the way down to Wexford, right, which is a good distance from Gorey, right? So we got into Wexford anyway. And you know Wexford Hospital, Nelly, there where we went in to see Dickie and all?
Yeah.
There. And the ambulance stopped outside there. And I got out first, and there was no bother. And all the people outside in there, no, they would be sitting outside in their pyjamas, in their aprons, all out smoking fags. And next minute I saw the donkey getting out of the ambulance, and they all started to laugh and taking out their cameras and taking photographs of the donkey outside the ambulance. So we tied the donkey anyway to the place there, nowhere it says the set down area where you're supposed to strip off people into it. So we tied the donkey to there anyway. So right, we had to go in. So we went straight in anyway, and the old doctor was there, and he said, "Oh, he's got a broken arm. He's broken in a couple of places. Need to fix that." So he mixed up this thing called plaster of Paris, and he wrapped it all my arm up in it, and I went real hard, real quick. Then he put my arm in a sling and says, "Now your arm will be like that now for about 4 to 6 weeks. It'll be better then." And I said, "No bother." And he said, how are we going to get home?" And he says, "What do you mean?" So the ambulance are all gone home. They're all gone home. It's night time now. I said, Jesus, I said, we live 23 mile away from here. How are we going to get home? So, well, I'm sorry. I said, oh, fake that, we says. So we went outside anyway. Then it's fresh. It was a cold evening. And here was the old donkey, old Bobby, outside the hospital, Nellie, right? And you know what he had behind his ear? He had about 3 parking tickets. He's after getting 3 parking tickets because we left him in a place where you weren't supposed to park a car. And the old feckin' idiot of a parking fella had written out 3 parking tickets, right? And you know what we did? Because the old donkey was hungry, we took him off his ear and put him into the donkey's mouth. The donkey ate him, right? So we said, right, so let's go home. So as we got off the donkey's back, I got on the donkey's back, then Nanny got the donkey's back. The donkey had a big old shite outside at Wexford Hospital, and we all went down the main street of Wexford and out home over the bridge up by the restaurant, Nellie, and all the way home. So that was grand for about 4 or 6 weeks. I was supposed to go back to the hospital, and I was in the bed that night. Not in bed that night, he'd be tossing and turning, Nellie, and I noticed actually that the plaster, not the yoke of my arm, the hard plaster Paris, it actually fell off my arm in the middle of the night. So I just got it and put it back on again. And I had to go on to the hospital the next day to get a cut off. Sure, I went in anyway, and sure, the old doctor there said, well, Michael, how are you feeling? I said, oh, grand, thanks, yeah, no bother. Your arm better? I said, oh, it's better, grand, yeah. So I'm going to cut it off. And he pulled out this big knife, big old long, sharp knife. And I said, Jesus, I said, hang on there a minute. I said, my arm is grand. Look, this thing just pops off. And I pulled it off. I said, look, fine. He said, okay, there's no bother back in your grand. It's okay. And I said, Jesus, that was a waste of a day, wasn't it? So, I can't remember what happened and how we got home, Nellie. That was the story. We just got home and I went home then after that. And I was always careful coming down the stairs in Nanny's house and Granny's house again.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing to pass it down.
You had to bring Patty down, yeah.
Yeah, you're so silly.
I know.
That was silly, Zoe.
Was it?
Yeah.
You little bitcher. Good night now, shy arses.
Sorry, Arson.
You too.